Welcome back, everybody. We're now going to hear from Emanuel Kolta, who is Senior Analyst at the GSMA, and he's going to talk about the greening of telecoms. Welcome, Emanuel.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for the invite. And yes, I would just give a quick summary on energy efficiency and innovation around mobile networks and what kind of future outlook do we expect. So this is actually Emanuel Kolta here. I am working in GSMA Intelligence and I cover mobile network infrastructure, specifically the radio access network, and in the last few years now, actually, energy efficiency. And in the next roughly 15-20 minutes, we would like to just give you a short summary on how do we see this kind of green network transformation and what's different in the past years and in the past year actually as well. Yeah, so quickly about GSMA Intelligence. We are the analyst and consulting arm for GSMA, and we provide data research for the ecosystem, and I think that's enough right now about this. So quickly in the beginning, there would be just a very short summary on trends around energy consumption, and also on our latest results related to energy efficiency, and in the end a quick sum up about the implications and recommendations. So why is energy efficiency is important? And we speak with several operators and build network economics model, and basically energy consumption is usually the second or the third largest OPEX cost for operators. It's usually after site rental and after human labor cost. And there is this saying in the industry that bits drive vets. And as I start with this slide, because you can see that mobile data traffic is expected to threefold by the end of 2025. And we also expect that the number of cellular connections from this year, when we reached roughly 10 billion, we will continue increase, and we will reach 12 billion by the end of 2025. So we know that there will be more need for data traffic and higher demand. And on the right slide, you can see this is from South Korea, the Ministry of Science and ICT, where despite we don't really know what the killer application for 5G, we already know that 5G devices consume way more data than non-5G devices. So this aligns our forecast that we will continue. We should continue to focus on the energy cost, because it's already it's a top operational cost for operators, and on the other hand, it has huge impact on emission. So this is why we started to research, and we can also see that there will be a lot of new cases and very complex use cases, and 5G networks are also expected to be way more dense than previous wireless generations. So the combination of the ever increasing data traffic and the more complex networks and more dense networks allow us to assume that we will continue need this more and more energy to operate and satisfy the customers or even new customers. And 5G has a theoretical energy efficiency. And if we're talking about energy efficiency, mobile networks, we can define it from several different aspects, but I think the best way to describe energy efficiency in mobile networking is how many gigabytes of data can I transfer with 1 kilowatt hour of energy, for example. And 5G has this potential to use less energy to transfer one gigabyte. But on the other hand, we can see that more advanced use cases are coming, and they are, and also on the other end, we are continuing to use more data. So there is a lot of innovation in the past years. You can see that different parts of the mobile networks are impacted differently. And the low-hanging fruit is the radio access network, as the RAN is using usually more than 70% of the energy of the mobile networks. So this is where you can have a higher impact if you start saving energy and if you start improving your efficiency. And so we can actually, this is just my draft of a mobile network in terms of energy consumption, from an energy consumption point of view. So we can actually split mobile network into 4 different areas, and usually radio access network is over 70%. Core is usually the second most energy consuming part of the network, and after operations and data centers. The reason why data centers are usually the third or the fourth is most of the data centers are operated by hyperscalers, internet companies, or co-located data center providers as well. But operators also own and maintain and operate their data centers. So it's also important for them. But radio access network is the area where most of the innovation is coming from, and every mobile network is different. So there is no one way how you can improve energy efficiency for mobile networks. So if you imagine that there is some mobile operators, mostly in South America or Sub-Saharan Africa or Southeast Asia, where diesel is an important factor. So where in many cases, mostly for hard to reach areas, or where you have bad grid, and which means that there is a lot of blackout, the grid is not reliable enough, then operators need some kind of backup power to operate their base stations and their equipment. And diesel is one of I believe the most polluting and a very inefficient way to run mobile operators. And luckily, the trend that the photovoltaic panels and the price of solar energy is an option now, because the price of photovoltaic panel decreased significantly in the past few years, which obviously helped operators and power companies to deploy solar panels and new battery solutions, and which can improve energy efficiency a lot. So I believe this is one factor, but where there is no chance to use solar, or there is no reason to chance solar, there are a lot of new way how you can improve energy efficiency, and we believe that the other big group of this innovation is shutdown and optimization method. So every big vendor, equipment vendor, and also smaller companies started to provide their shutdown solutions, which can also improve energy efficiency. And this means that you can analyze the potential data traffic pattern in that area where the base station is providing coverage, and you can simply put to sleep mode or shut down a few parts of the active equipment as well, even for a few seconds or a few milliseconds, or even for a longer period of time. You can shut down a few parts of the base station, and you can save significant part of energy consumption. So major solutions can save more than 10-15% energy consumption in the run with an AI-driven network optimization platform. And the other part is battery solutions, and battery is not just important when you need backup, but in many countries this is a legal requirement to have battery in a base station, which is not just very expensive and a costly play, but also have obviously lower efficiency, and there was a lot of innovation around battery solutions as well. So I think like 5-10 years ago, lead acid battery was the most common solution to use it as a backup. But right now, lithium batteries getting way more popular, and they're not just cheaper to operate, but they have longer lifetime. You can recharge them way more time than a normal lead acid batteries. So several part of the mobile network, as it's a huge and very complex system, there are new ways to save energy, and there is it's gaining momentum these days, mainly because of 5G and the fear of that operators can't break this curve, this energy usage curve, and this can actually cause them long-lasting competitive disadvantages, and also very can be very bad for the environment as well. And just a quick deep dive into the radio access network, and here I just wanted to show here that if you're talking about one site, and on the left there is the grid, and you can see that first power distribution rectifier, and you need to convert this to DC, and then the active elements that you see that all these boxes require very different and very diverse set of knowledge. So a new aircon system or a liquid cooling system requires a completely different knowledge and expertise than a new AI-driven shutdown software or a new baseband unit. So despite we are talking about a relatively small site, but the amount of expertise what you require to operate efficiently can be a very diverse area. So, and sometimes this can be outside from the operator's comfort zone, and in the end there will be some recommendation what we actually found after running different models and speaking with operators, but I can share. But I think one of them is that a lot of new ties should be formed between operators and smaller innovative startups in energy management, or battery providers or suppliers as well. And we currently at the moment running a benchmarking activity in GSMA, which means that we are asking data from different mobile operators and building a database on energy consumption, and we would like to not just benchmark the results and compare different operators' energy efficiency, but also identify the worst performers or the areas where you can develop the most, and help the best performers to share their knowledge. So if an operator is interested about joining, you can reach out after that, and also we have actually several projects ongoing on energy efficiency. But we believe that if we can split into three main trends, and one of them is the use of solar, and as I mentioned that this is fine. It was something not the most efficient to produce energy, and it wasn't able to replace diesel, but now thanks to the price of the photovoltaic panels, it actually become a real option. Second one I mentioned is the AI-driven network optimization, and I don't want to sit into the hype train of AI and But this is something which is very easy and quick to implement. I wouldn't use the word easy, but it can be relatively quick to implement and provide a significant saving opportunity for everyone very, very, very quickly with another lot of further possibility to improve efficiency as well. So I am actually very optimistic with the AI-driven network optimization solutions. And also there is this trend that operators started to commit in the past years that they will improve their energy consumption and limit their carbon footprint. So some implications as a summary. I believe that first and one of the most important is harvest the data. And one of the biggest bottleneck I see and we see actually is that in many cases we don't know how much are we actually spending on energy and where are we spending it on energy. And you can't control and can't improve what you don't measure. So building up efficient data pipelines and deploying small sensors and to understand the drivers behind energy consumption is something which is, I think, the step zero. So I'm very sorry there is some kind of construction in my neighbor. So sorry for the voices. So one of the most important is harvesting data. The second one is for mobile operators is to start a transformation plan. And I believe that a completely new team with an accountable leader is the solution. And this is how we can actually dedicate a person and a team to improve this. One second, sorry. Traditional equipment vendors is building partnership with energy sector. So as I mentioned, that mobile operators are a new set of customers, and to understand their unique needs is something new partnership is needed between vendors and the energy sector. And last but not least, energy management companies. So mobile operators are an attractive market for them. So we can improve with new ties, with new collaborations in the industry. And I think that was it from my end. I'm very sorry about the construction in the background. So if you have any questions or comment, please feel free to reach me out. And then I'm happy to answer any questions.
Hello, Emanuel. Yes, it's difficult having for you to contend with that. So we do have a question here. Would the RAN energy consumption drive operators more towards O-RAN and Cloud RAN? Would it drive them more to adopt O-RAN and Cloud RAN? And what are the conventional RAN OEMs doing to tackle this?
Thank you. It's a great question. So I believe we should handle Open RAN and vRAN and Cloud RAN differently. And I think the impact is completely different. While Open RAN increase the number of vendors in the market and give you a bigger supply, vRAN can and Cloud RAN can bring you efficiently, and you can use the existing resources more efficiently. So from energy consumption point of view, I think it's two very different impact. And you can utilize your existing infrastructure and virtualize functions more efficiently. But with Open RAN, you can add new vendors and build your multi-vendor strategy as well. So I think it's two very different impact on this.
Okay, someone else observes, Emanuel, that solar panels are still low efficiency. Is that an issue?
I mean, the question itself is low efficiency, so
That's more of a statement, but anyway, I just wanted to.
yeah, it's something which has its pros and cons. Needless to say, it's available. It's we should use this this source of power if we can. It's not something that easy to use as and immediately to turn on as a diesel generator. I completely agree, but I believe that building up a very diverse portfolio of energy is the solution. So yes, this is not the most efficient, but it's something what we can build in, and operators should build in into their energy mix.
I guess there's some applications it's more suited for to others, right? And some locations that it's more suited for than others. And a final question is, how is perovskite going to improve, which is the sort of calcium titanium oxide? Do you know anything about that?
I'm very sorry. It's not my expertise, so I don't think I can answer to that one.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any need to apologize, but maybe we can explore that later. Emanuel, thank you very much for your time and your presentation. Really interesting and very encouraging somehow.
Thank you. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach us out, and we will do the best to answer your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.